The BBeazer family came from France in 1696. They were refugees from France. They were expelled because, like so many Protestant refugees, the King of France gave them three options. They could convert to Catholicism, they could be burnt at the stake, or they could emigrate, and they wisely decided to emigrate, and consequently I'm here today. Quite a wise choice. They came first of all to a town called Bradford-on-Avon, which is in southern England. The churches kept all the records. George BBeazer was on the record books, and he's on the record books in 1696. He was a mason, and a mason effectively is a bit like a bricklayer, but a mason lays stone instead of bricks. By the next generation, they were calling themselves builders, which meant that they owned their own business, and this would have been about 1720. In the start of the 20th century, the momentum started to pick up for ordinary families, and you saw it here in the United States. Henry Ford was the first person to make automobiles available for the average working person, and the same started to happen in the house building industry. They started to buy land and develop the land so that they could build houses for the ordinary working person. The income of the company in the first year was 120 British pounds. I started in the company in 1956, and I started first of all on building sites as a trainee manager. We've done some very expensive housing, but the bulk has been on the bottom, and many are first-time buyers. And for them, this is a huge step in life. And very often, it's possibly the most major step that they will ever make, their first home purchase. The best year in the sale of homes was, I believe, in 1986, when they sold 7,500 homes. And that was their best year. And all of that was in the United Kingdom. I'm most proud of the fact that I came to the United States to set up a business here. I was fortunate enough to meet the right people, able to make this business a success. I'm very proud of that. It's a great achievement to see a young family going into a house and they can sense that it's theirs, which they can look at with pride. Not only can they look at with pride, but they can then invite their friends there. And we found a small business here in Atlanta called Cone Communities, and by this time it was 1986, and we bought Cone Communities and started to build on that. And we then went to Tennessee and bought a company called Phillips and expanded the business on that basis. This is the most important position and thing that I do in life. I'm immensely proud of this company. I want it to prosper. The glue is the example originally set by our founders of discipline, of interest, of total commitment to the cause. But a great part of the glue is between the employees of the company. If an employee is working alongside another employee who is totally committed, interested in their job, skilled at their job, liking their job, and is prepared to go the extra mile to please his colleagues and the customer, that generates itself an enormous amount of glue. Leadership can be given. Every team needs a captain, but the captain can only do so much. It's the players on the field that bind themselves together, which gives total victory to the campaign. You've got to know what is the ethical course. And I believe that most of us know what is the ethical course in most of the things we do. So the ethics are paramount. Beyond that, you've got to be able to do the job, and you've got to be able to work conscientiously and hard, because that is the only way that your client, the major stakeholder, gets the right product at the right price at the right time. If you've heard this discussion today, you've heard of our history, you've heard of heritage, you've heard of culture, and you've heard of our traditions. We would actually like to welcome you to that family, not only for your benefit, but for our benefit. We need you to carry on the tradition which started over 300 years ago in providing accommodation for people to live in and have a decent home and a decent standard of life. And with that, we welcome you to BBeazer Homes